I don't want to scare anyone, but I'm gonna give it to you straight about Michael. He was captured after his murderous rampage in 1978. The girl who survived that night in Haddonfield, that Halloween, she claims he's still a threat. Legend has it that he's pure evil on 2 feet. Guess you all know by now he was locked away in Smith's Grove Sanitarium. 40 years. 40 long years he's been dormant, and now he's escaped. Free to kill anyone who gets in his way. The boogeyman is out there. Halloween 2018 takes place 40 years after the 1978 original, wiping the slate clean from the 7 sequels and 2 Rob Zombie entries. Our emotionless killer was captured Halloween night following the events of the first film and returned back to Smith's Grove Sanitarium, while our heroine, Laurie Strode, was traumatized for life after her encounter with Michael and removed herself from most of society to prepare for what she believes to be his inevitable return. Her daughter Karen, who was taken away from Laurie at a young age, is trying to move on with her life after the crazy survivalist upbringing she experienced. She has a daughter of her own, Allison, who attempts to reconnect her mother and grandmother with less than positive results. While all this is going on with the Strode family, a journalist team is investigating the Michael Myers murders. Through them, we learn that Michael is being transported to a different facility to live out the rest of his days. However, the bus crashes, Michael escapes, and he returns to Haddonfield to pick up where he left off all those years ago. I did enjoy this movie quite a bit. As an avid fan of the original film, it worked fairly well as a direct sequel to it. Jamie Lee Curtis kills it in her performance as Laurie, not only as a badass warrior, but emotionally damaged victim that's had to live with this horrific event in her life. She's trained and prepared to fight, but also dealing with her inner demons. I'll admit there were several scenes where I got choked up because she was just able to convey the pain she's been dealing with brilliantly. But without spoiling anything, she's still able to kick serious ass. She is a strong, capable fighter, nothing like the frightened Laurie from Halloween H2O. The performances from Judy Greer as Karen and Andy Matichak as Allison were great as well. The trio of female stars here are really some of the shining spots in the movie. Watching 3 generations of women dealing with their own issues while also fending off the unstoppable Michael Myers is handled tremendously. Watching the evolution of their relationships with each other throughout felt very real to me, and I applaud them for that. But let's move on to the main man, Michael Myers. James Jude Courtney is possibly the best Michael portrayal since Nick Castle. His body type and the way he walks and stalks gave me serious flashbacks to how he was in the original. He wasn't like the Terminator Michael from Halloween 2 or the weird bulky Michael from 4 and 6. He just seemed to move and flow naturally, but holy shit is he freaking brutal. Again, no spoilers here, but god damn, there are some nasty and mean-ass kills, including one that caught me totally off guard and wasn't expecting. This Michael is truly scary. I mean it when I say that this is the best Michael we've seen in 40 years. I'll mention real quick too that I was very happy that John Carpenter finally returned to the franchise to produce the score of the film. It does feel very Carpenter-esque with his spin on the original Halloween themes, but it actually reminded me of the score from It Follows, which ironically enough was heavily inspired by Carpenter's music. Not saying that's a bad thing though, because both are creepy and fit the mood. So my positives have mainly focused on the acting and music. But what are some of my negatives? Well, in terms of the story, I think some plot lines could have been removed to focus on others. Particularly, I thought the stuff with Allison and her boyfriend could have been just omitted completely. It really doesn't go anywhere and takes up a little more time than it should. I would have preferred to get more insight on the actual capture of Michael in 1978, which they mention but never really dive into. And there's a third act twist involving something that I felt came completely out of left field and almost stopped the movie dead for me. Remove that and give me some more interactions and backstory between Laurie and Karen. Oh, and there's also this really bad scene between 2 cops that's clearly played for laughs but felt way too out of place and frankly not funny at all. And all I'll say about the ending is that it did leave me wanting more. Other than those things, I really liked the movie. There were points where I was genuinely scared to the point my heart was racing uncontrollably, and others where I was laughing out loud, especially during the scenes between babysitter Vicky and Julian. You've got great acting from a group of likable characters, an eerie score, a brutal as fuck Michael, some good shock moments, and a third act that gets very intense. My only complaints come from stories that probably should have been replaced to focus on other ones, the twist that pops up, and perhaps a little more from the ending. If I had to give it a rating, I would most likely give it an 8 out of 10. If you're a fan of the franchise, I don't think you'll be disappointed. Thanks for listening to my review, everybody. This was my first attempt at an actual film review, so please be cool in the comments. If you've seen the movie, please leave your non-spoiler thoughts in the comments. Also, where do you think this ranks for you amongst the 11 movies? I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say. Until next time, happy Halloween.